Hey there, everybody. Okay. I know normally I make videos using Facebook Live because that's a heck of a lot faster and easier than making a video like this on my phone and then uploading it. It just takes forever to upload onto Facebook doing this. But along this drive I'm taking at the moment, I have little to no phone signal at all, so Facebook Live isn't working. I gave it a try. Didn't work. All right, so I'm doing this instead. I am in Mississippi. I am on Interstate 59 heading south to Biloxi. I arrived in Mississippi yesterday in the town of Meridian at about 11 p.m. after a bit of a kerfuffle. It started with on Wednesday. Last Wednesday, I was on a run escorting a load just within the state of Oklahoma. Started somewhere around the Tulsa area and then ended at the Arkansas border. Or was it the Missouri border? Either way. So once I reached the state border, they didn't need me anymore. They only needed me in Oklahoma. So we said our goodbyes. I turned around and headed home. But just before I headed home, when I turned around and parked the truck and started to take down my flags and turn off my lights and stuff, I discovered I had one of my headlights burned out. When we are escorting a load, along with all the other safety stuff, you have to have your headlights on. So I was not legal at that point. And I checked it before I started the run that day, so it burned out somewhere along the run. Either way, since I was done with that load, I went ahead and I was heading home. I turned off my headlights, went home. It was still during the day. And that was Wednesday or Thursday. I guess it would have been Wednesday. So Thursday or Friday, I went ahead and went down to my local auto parts shop and picked up a new headlight, replaced it. Everything looked good. Took a look, headlights, everything looks good. All right, great to go. All right. So that was Friday. Yesterday, I load up the truck with all my stuff, and I knew that I was going to start working on a load, on a run that starts in Mississippi, goes to North Dakota, but apparently it's got some sort of wonky route that I think goes through Texas. So I guess we're going west first through Texas and then north to North Dakota. I don't know what the heck's going on. They have not given me a full rundown of what our route is, but rather just verbal. Oh yeah, this is going to be a really awkward one. We got like over 1,000 miles in Texas. Okay, whatever. Hey, I'm just along for the ride. I'm going to be escorting in the rear, so I just follow along, and I just become a rolling caution sign is really all I am for the whole trip, and they pay me for it. No problem, however long it takes. So anyway, I drive. It's about a 9-10 hour drive. Now, I've been in Mississippi before, by the way. Last time I came to Mississippi, took that 9-10 hour drive, only to find out when I got here, they didn't need us after all, and they canceled, so we had to come back home. Oh, that's ridiculous. So anyway, so here I came back to Mississippi, back to Meridian, Mississippi, same town as that last time I told you about. And they tell me, by the way, as I'm getting ready to leave Oklahoma, by the way, we still don't have our permit for Mississippi yet. This big, long, convoluted route we're about to take, and we don't have a permit for Mississippi. Since this, whatever I escort is oversized, it's either too wide or too tall or too long, too heavy, too something. Because of that, you have to have a state permit for every state to drive through. So they did not get the one from Mississippi, and we start in Mississippi, so we're not going anywhere until they get a Mississippi permit. All right, no problem. And now this was yesterday, Sunday. No, there's no permit office in any state that's open on a Sunday. No state office of any sort that's open on a Sunday, let's face it. So I knew that if they were going to get a permit, it would not be till at least today. So anyway, I'm driving along figuring, okay, I'll stay the night and hopefully they'll get it today, Monday. But as I'm driving, I stop, get gas every so often, stop, get something to eat so often, stop for a comfort break, a little bit. And one of those stops, I pull up and I think it was a McDonald's, and I see in the reflection in the window, I only have one headlight again. But the one I replaced is on. It's the other one that's off. Like, son of a gun. Great. And it's at this point it's evening. It's about 6 o'clock? No, close to 7 or 6:30 or something. Anyway, I don't know. Getting towards the evening. It's like, okay, I got to get this replaced. Now here's the deal. The first time I replaced the one on the driver's side, that one is slick as snot, easy. This time it was the passenger side that was out. That's not so easy. I don't know how much any of you are familiar with under the hood of a huge work pickup truck, but in order to access this headlight, the bulb, I would have to remove the air filter, which it's not that difficult, but it does require tools. It requires, it does not use a flathead or a Phillips head. They use what looked like an asterisk or a star, otherwise known as a T-head. So I have to, I can't just use a butter knife on this damn thing to get it loose, to get this out. Okay, great. Well, I don't have tools. I had tools until they got stolen when the previous truck I had back several months ago. So great. I'm thinking, okay, because I'm going to have to stop at like an AutoZone or O'Reilly's or something, get another headlight, get a set of tools, and get it done. Well, I look for the closest O'Reilly. I'm sorry. And as I get out, I'm going to go to McDonald's to get my food. I hit the little button on the remote to lock it, and it does not honk like it normally does. I'm like, what's going on here? So I tried again, and no honk. Like, okay, this is odd. So just out of abundance of caution, I start the truck back up with my, put the keys in, start it up, and I try to honk the horn. Nothing. Like, oh, great. I mean, not that I need a horn for much of anything, and not for my job, but the headlight and my horn both go out at the same time, right after the other headlight. Something ain't right here. Something ain't right. So I'm thinking electric. Excuse me. Wiring or something. Well, I go in, I get my food, I come out, and I look for an O'Reilly's. I pull in a little after 7 o'clock, and it turns out they had closed at 7. Son of a gun. I guess it was actually right around 7:30. So, all right, I need to find another place. Every place in that little town I was in had closed already. But there was one about 25 minutes away that closed in 30 minutes, according to Google. So I punch it in, and I'm looking, and the sun's in the horizon, or getting close to the horizon. Like, my headlights are going to be needed pretty soon, and I don't want to drive in the dark with only one headlight if I can avoid it in a work truck. I get a ticket. It's bad news. I know it's not my fault, but at the same time, I am responsible for the upkeep on this truck. You know what I mean? Either way, it would still be a problem that the company that I work for would have to deal with, and I'm not keen on more problems being dumped on the company I work for. It's a little mom and pop company. It's not like a corporation. This is more expense that technically could have been prevented somehow. So I'm hoping I can make it to this place. And I get there just in the nick of time just to find out that they closed early. Like an advanced auto or something like that. Like, hell. So, and it's Sunday. So, of course, all these places are closing. They were scheduled to close, fairly early as it is compared to the rest of the week. And this one closed even earlier than that. Wonderful. I am SOL at this point. It's now 7 o'clock. Ain't no place I'm going to find between now and whenever I get there that's still going to be open on a Sunday night. It's just not going to happen. So I'm going to have to make it home. I might be able to find a Walmart, maybe, but then I'd have to replace it in the dark. Yeah, sometimes the parking lot lights are good, sometimes they're not. Especially when I'm taking out air filter parts and stuff like that. Like, great. All right, you know what? Heck it. I'm going to go to the hotel and just chance it. So I'm driving. I pass a highway patrolman, and he, on the highway at this point, and he's not coming out. He doesn't care. Great. And 5 minutes later, here's another highway patrolman, both of them speed traps, parked on the side of the highway. Like, okay, and he stays put. Okay, good. And about half an hour later, here comes another highway patrolman. Like, oh, he's already got a customer at the moment. He's got somebody pulled over. Great. You can worry about them and not me. And eventually I make it to the hotel. Oh, safe and sound. Thank goodness. So I check into the hotel. I get my stuff settled in, and I start looking for the closest O'Reilly's or something to that effect. And yeah, there's a couple in town that I can go to. Great, fantastic. And they open pretty early. Great. Oh, that's right. I'm going to have to buy tools. And at the same time, if the permit for the load comes in first thing in the morning, they're going to want to hit the road right away. I'm going to have to get this headlight fixed ASAP so I can be legal and kosher to be on the run. So that everybody else does not have to wait on me. That's just not professional at all. So, okay, there's a place. Okay, Walmart opens at 6. Great. Well, there's a Walmart right here, just a hop, a skip, and a jump from where I am, and they open at 6 a.m. Fantastic. So I wake up early this morning. I go down to Walmart, and I pick up a headlight. I pick up a cheap set of tools. And I go in the parking lot, and I start tearing apart what needs to be torn apart. Let me tell you, in early August in Mississippi, it's already 80-something degrees. 1,000% humidity. You could swim through the air. And that was at like 6-something in the morning. Holy cow. Anyway, so I go, I take everything apart, I replace the light bulb, I bought some rubber gloves, because if any of you know, or if you don't know, when you replace the light bulb in a headlight, you do not touch it with your hands. Do not touch a light bulb for your headlights with your hands. At least not the glass part. The plastic, all that don't matter. That don't matter, really? Wow, I've lived in Oklahoma too long. That does not matter. But the oils on your skin will create hot spots on the glass, and it will cause that headlight to burn out much quicker than you intended, and than it was intended to. So you use some sort of hand covering, plastic bag if you have to, but I just got gloves. So it took apart the air filter part, stuff like that, got the light bulb put in, everything works great. Tested the horn honks, hey, great. So I don't know if it was related to the light bulb or to the headlight or not, but either way, it's working. So, put everything back together, close the hood, everything's good to go. Head back to the hotel. I text the 18-wheeler driver, hey, I hadn't talked to him yet. I have not even told him about the headlight. Hey, all right, we're good to go. Let's, whenever you're ready, whenever you get the permit, I'm in town. I've made it. Because, well, we haven't got the permit yet. It's still early. I said, no problem. I'm going to grab a bite to eat. So where do I go? I go to ye old Waffle House. Anybody familiar with anything east of pretty much California, maybe east of, I don't know, they might be in Nevada, but east of California, you know about a Waffle House. Waffle House is basically, it is a national chain of some of the nastiest dirty spoon restaurants you have ever seen. It is not great food. I mean, I like it, but if you're looking for gourmet, that ain't it. If any of you are familiar with an old song made by a group called the Bloodhound Gang called Bad Touch. That's the name of the song, Bad Touch. If you don't know it, if you don't know it by name, go ahead. When we're done, go onto YouTube. Search Bad Touch Bloodhound Gang. When you hear it beginning, you'll go, oh, that song. Anyway, in it, they reference Waffle House hash browns. Because you can get your Waffle House hash browns customized. All kinds of different ingredients you can throw in hash browns. But not the point. Anyway, went there for breakfast. Went back to the hotel. Decided to relax for a little bit. Checkout's at 11. At this point, it's 9:30. All right, no problem. So I figured I can rest for maybe an hour, and unless I get a phone call or a text or something saying it's time to go, something. And sure enough, while I'm resting, I get a text saying, "Keep your rooms." It was to me and I guess to another pilot. "Keep your rooms." All right. So it looks like we're stuck here for the day. No problem. Not a problem at all. Now, last time I was in Mississippi, I drove north to Tupelo and then to Tunica. This time I decided to drive south. Back in the 80s, there was a movie. It was based on a Neil Simon play. It starred Matthew Broderick, which was all right, whatever, called Biloxi Blues. And ever since then, I always wondered where Biloxi was, and turns out okay, now I know where Biloxi is. I'm going to go. I looked at Google Maps and saw that it was right by the ocean. Oh, I'm going to go down there. I've been to the Pacific Ocean. Haven't been down to, I don't know if that's considered the Atlantic. I guess that's to the Gulf of Mexico, but I don't know if that's the Atlantic or something else. Yeah, I think it's the Atlantic. Either way, haven't been down there to that beach. Now's as good a time as any. So that's why I'm headed. So I'm headed down to Biloxi. And that's the 17.5-minute version of what's been going on lately in my life. I mean, aside from, if you're paying attention, last Saturday, I was able to celebrate my third date anniversary with my girlfriend. It was the third anniversary of our first date. And we had a good time. We went out to eat. We went out, tried to do a little shopping, and then we also commemorated it with our annual visit to a little spot called the Center of the Universe in downtown Tulsa. For those that know, you know. For those that don't, Google is your friend. And that's where we spent a little bit of our first date, and we go there every year since. Now, since then, we do a little bit of a inventory, a mental and emotional inventory of where we've been and where we're going in our relationship. So, did that, and I'm afraid I had to call it an early night because I knew I was going to be making this trip the next morning. Did not leave as early as I'd hoped, but fortunately, I was able to make it quicker than I thought I would, or than I feared. So I thought I was going to end up being around midnight or after midnight when I first left, but it turns out it did not take that long, thankfully. So anyway, that's what's happening here. When I get to Biloxi, I will, if I have phone signal, I'm going to try to upload this video, and then I'll try to also go live. If not, I'll have to make another video and upload it. So, alrighty then. Y'all take care. Oh, I forgot to mention. When I was driving to Mississippi, while I was in Arkansas and in Mississippi, I was along a highway that was named, according to the signs I kept passing, it was named the Rhythm and Bayous Highway. I guess instead of Rhythm and Blues, it's Rhythm and Bayous. All right. I guess I didn't realize there were bayous in Arkansas, but then again, I'm not an Arkansas aficionado. I know there are in Mississippi, I just didn't know there were in Arkansas, but either way. All right. Take care, everybody.